This is the ancient site of Jericho.
And on the seventh trip around, we're told in the Bible, the mud brick wall collapsed and it fell outward and down to the base.
Where we are heading today is a very small archaeological site, but what we're going to see and learn about this site will once again connect us directly with the Bible.
The desert was still. The air held its breath. Long ago, Jericho stood here, strong and proud. A city with walls so thick that enemies turned back in fear. Yet one day, those walls fell, not from siege, not from battering rams, but in an instant. For centuries, many mocked this story. They said it was only faith, only a tale, nothing more. But beneath the sand, the truth waited. When archaeologists dug at ancient Jericho, they did not find a myth. They found ruins that whispered of power, walls broken outward, a city frozen in sudden ruin, and the earth began to speak. For generations, scholars scoffed at the idea of Jericho's fall. Trumpets, marching, that is legend, not history, they insisted. To them, the story was a symbol, not a record, a tale to teach moral lessons, not a report of real events. In classrooms and books, the message echoed, faith may inspire, but science explains. Skeptics waited eagerly for archaeology to erase the story once and for all. They believed the Bible would crumble beneath the weight of evidence, that digging into the past would bury belief under facts and data.
Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more awe-inspiring stories of faith, survival, and miracles.
Many believers held their breath, feeling pressure grow. Could the ancient accounts survive modern eyes and modern tools? But when the earth opened, it did not offer comfort to doubt. Instead, it raised deeper questions. As spades hit stone and brushes swept dust from ancient brick, the line between myth and memory wavered. Where skeptics hoped to find silence, they heard echoes. Where critics expected absence, they found presence. Where doubt wanted emptiness, the earth held proof. And slowly, something unexpected happened. People who once laughed at the story began to wonder if laughter came too soon. Skeptics shifted in their seats. Questions formed where certainty once lived. Sometimes the past does not bow to modern pride. Sometimes it stands up and speaks back. Today, Jericho appears as little more than a dusty hill called Tel es Sultan. Quiet, still, ordinary. Travelers pass by without noticing. Children play nearby without knowing what sleeps beneath their feet. It looks like nothing, a mound of dirt under a burning sun. No shining walls, no towers, no glory, just silence. But not all silence is empty. Some silence waits. Deep under this hill lie layers of human story stacked like pages in a forgotten book. Walls buried by time, burnt stones blackened by sudden fire, broken bricks resting where they fell thousands of years ago, jars sealed in ash, secrets kept tight by sand and wind. A city once loud with confidence now rests in humble quiet. Yet every stone here seems poised, like a held breath, as if the ground itself remembers and is ready to speak again. Because sometimes the quietest places carry the loudest truths. Long before Joshua arrived, Jericho was already ancient, a city older than Pharaoh's. Its stone base wall rose like a cliff. On top sat a thick mud brick wall, stacked high like a shield touching the sky. Together, they formed a fortress nearly impossible to conquer. Inside were storehouses, soldiers, and watchtowers. The people of Jericho felt untouchable. They trusted their walls more than any god. And why not? No army could climb them. No fire could melt them. No enemy could starve them quickly. The land around provided food, and springs bubbled water inside the city. This was not a weak town waiting to fall. This was a fortress built to last forever. Yet the Bible says God told Joshua not to attack, not to burn battering rams, not to throw spears. Instead, he told them to walk, to move in silence, then shout. A strange plan against a mighty wall, a plan no warrior would invent. Picture it. 6 days, soldiers, priests, and people walking around the walls. No attack, no war cries, only steps, only trumpets. The enemy above watching, confused, the citizens below holding their breath. Every lap was a test, a choice. Trust walls or trust God? On the 7th day, they marched 7 times. Then, in one moment, trumpets blasted, voices roared, and something happened that no army, no tool, no strategy could explain. The walls fell outward. Not inward, like when enemies break through. Outward, like something pushed them from the inside. The Bible says the people went straight up into the city. They did not climb rubble. They walked right in. To doubters, this sounded like fantasy, impossible, a miracle too wild to consider. But thousands of years later, in the hot dust of the Jordan Valley, the earth gave its answer. Because buried in that soil was a city that fell exactly the same way. In the early 1900s, archaeologist John Garstang uncovered Jericho's ancient ruins. He found the great stone retaining wall, and beside it, a huge pile of fallen mud bricks, bricks that had once formed the mighty upper wall, pushed outward, not inward. He wrote that the walls fell down flat. He also found a thick burn layer, black and deep, showing Jericho did not die slowly. It burned fast, violently, in a sudden event. Then came something even stranger. Storage jars packed with grain, untouched, not stolen, not eaten, still full. Why does that matter? Because when cities fell in ancient times, invaders always took food. Grain was wealth, grain was life. But here it was left behind, like the people never had time to eat it, and the conquerors didn't want it. Exactly as the Bible says, the city burned, but the plunder was not taken. Garstang believed he had found proof of the biblical event. Believers rejoiced, but soon doubt marched in again. In the 1950s, archaeologist Kathleen Tenyon led a new excavation with improved methods. Her team worked carefully, layer by layer. When she studied pottery, she reached a conclusion that shook many faithful hearts. She said Jericho's walls had fallen long before Joshua's time, maybe 1550 BC, not 1400 BC. Too early, she claimed, and for a time her voice ruled the textbooks. Scholars said, "See, the Bible story did not happen. Jericho was empty when Joshua would have arrived." For decades, this became the accepted view. Many thought the mystery was solved. But a puzzle remained. The walls still fell outward. The city still burned in sudden ruin. The grain still sat untouched. Something had happened here, something powerful, something fast, and the evidence did not rest easy in silence. Years later, archaeologist Dr. Bryant Wood studied Kenyon's notes. He was an expert in ancient pottery, the very tool Kenyon used to date her find. And he noticed something astonishing. The pottery she called early matched pottery from around 1400 BC, not 1550 BC, not a ghost town, but a city alive at the exact time the Bible names. He reviewed drawings, photographs, artifacts. Piece by piece, the picture changed. His analysis said Jericho fell when Joshua would have been there. Suddenly, Garstang's early claim made sense again. The burn layer, the fall direction, the grain. Faith and archaeology seemed to speak the same story once more. Critics challenged Wood. Supporters rose behind him. The debate grew loud. But the ground does not argue. It only tells what it holds. A wall collapsed outward. A city burned quickly. Food untouched. Pottery dated to Joshua's time. Coincidence? Earthquake? Miracle? Or all three at once? Look at what the earth revealed. A mud brick wall pushed outward. Burn layer thick and fierce. Jars full of grain sealed by fire. Collapse sudden, not slow. Destruction during harvest season.